everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Catherine and I am a junior doctor and a GP trainee in London. Today I'm finally back with another vlog. I'll be bringing you on a set of 3 weekend night shifts on my paediatrics rotation. For most doctors and nurses around the world, night shifts are a necessary part of our careers because healthcare is 24/7. I've been doing night shifts now for 4 years as a junior doctor rotating around hospital specialties, and I still really struggle with them. I specifically remember how scared I was before my first set of night shifts, but over time I've learned to adopt certain strategies to help me cope a lot better. And this vlog is my opportunity to share these with you. Most of what I know about night shifts actually come from this paper that was given to me in my first week as a doctor as an F1. And it's written by a sleep consultant called Dr. Michael Farker, who works at the Evelina Children's Hospital in London. And it's a very short read, but has so many valuable points. And actually most of the strategies and the techniques that you'll see me adopt in the vlog come directly from this paper. So I'll link it down below, it's definitely worth a read. Without further ado, let's get on with the vlog.
The night before my first night shift, I tried to stay up a couple of hours to partially adjust to a night schedule. But really, I don't try that hard as any rest I can get before the nights is better than depriving myself of even more sleep. I get up at around 10 AM and make breakfast. My cat Pepe is intrigued and comes and investigates whether this is cat food. I have some decaffeinated herbal tea with my breakfast, then change out with my PJs and take the morning really slow. On this particular day, I write a few notes to plan out this vlog and spend time with Pepe. Pepe then falls asleep on the sofa, which frees me to do some meal prep. I buy my groceries and batch cook my meals for all 3 nights before starting, as in between shifts I want to focus on resting as much as possible rather than worrying about cooking. After meal prepping, I do some sort of exercise. Today, I'm doing yoga. The key to this, I find, is to find an activity that is not so stressful that I'm wired with adrenaline, but exerts me enough so that I feel sleepy later for an afternoon nap. I then return to the kitchen and start cooking my lunch. I make 4 portions in total, 1 to eat now and 3 to bring on each of my shifts. After my lunch, I take a nice warm shower. And I also have some herbal tea. Then I get ready for my afternoon nap. There are a couple of tools I use to help me nap. The first one is the Calm Sleep section. I personally really like the sleep meditations, or something called Yoga Nidra, which I use off the app Glow. This is a guided meditation to a state of relaxed consciousness. I get about 2 hours rest, and when I get up, I essentially treat it as a normal morning routine. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and get changed. I then prepare dinner. Again, batch cooking my dinner for 3 nights. As you can probably tell, a lot of my preparation for the night shift is preparing food.
So whilst I wait for my dinner to cook, I thought I'd do a quick what's in my bag and what do I take on to a night shift. This is my bag, it's very unexciting, makes it easy to cycle. So, starting from the top, I have got a pen, which is very important because I have shown up to a night shift without a pen, which basically rendered me almost useless, but luckily I found another pen on the ward, which is harder than it seems. Pen torch and lip balm, very important. I've got really dry lips. It's important especially at night because you're probably not drinking as much water as you probably should be, and you know, you don't want to be walking around with cracked lips, especially under a mask, which is really uncomfortable. Then, clothes bag with scrubs. I bring my own scrubs because the lockers take ages to dispense the scrubs, so I just bring my own and I launder them at 6 degrees at home. Eye mask, just in case, you know, you manage to be lucky enough to get some sleep. And although NHS hospitals are technically meant to provide some sort of resting area for you to get some rest overnight, this might be a common room, there might be lights from the computer screen or lights from the corridor or lights generally, so an eye mask is a good idea to get some quality nap time if you're able to. I bring one of these Uniqlo heat tech things because hospitals are so cold at night, even during the winter or the summer. It doesn't matter, they're just freezing overnight. I'm not sure why. It's good just to zip up and feel a bit cozy. Bringing extra layers is always a good idea. Water bottle, I always bring this around with me, ask anyone I work with, and it's always with me. During the daytime, I try to drink at least 2 of these. Overnight, 2 would be an accomplishment. I've used this so much you can't see any of the measurement figures anymore, but I think this is about just over a litre. A Keep cup, which is not only good for the environment but also in hospitals it's actually quite hard to find a non-disposable cup for you to use for tea, coffee, whatever you want at night, so I always bring this around with me. And then my lunch bag, obviously it's covered in cats. Let me show you what's in there. Tea bags, so I have one that's caffeinated. This one is matcha green tea with roasted rice. This one is decaffeinated, which is an after dinner one from Pukka, and it's a delicious balance of sweet fennel, roast chicory and cardamom. I start the night with a caffeinated one, and then around 3-4 a.m. if I get a break, then I have this one. I tend not to have any coffee overnight because I find that makes me more jittery rather than anything. I tend to do better with caffeine from teas rather than coffees. I always bring some sort of fresh fruit with me. An apple is easy to transport and tastes nice. Crisps, crisps. I know I have a tendency to crave salt-rich food overnight, especially the crunchy kind. I try to resist myself because I know that it's just gonna make me feel bloated and not very great, so I try to keep to just one sort of small multi-pack portion. I've got my dinner / lunch / midnight meal, which I made earlier today, and then a fork. Do not forget to bring cutlery. In most of the wards I've worked in, it's impossible to find any form of cutlery, and the canteen will probably shut wherever you're working overnight. You don't want to be eating your food with that rusty fork in that drawer, which no one knows how long it's been there for. I always bring 2 over-the-counter medications with me. So the first one is paracetamol, because you're working at a time where your body should be asleep, and sometimes I get random aches and pains, and it's just always handy to have. And then the other one is indigestion relief tablets. I don't know whether it's because I'm growing old or because it's night shifts or it's just general stress, but I've been having really bad reflux recently, and especially if I eat overnight, I always pack these in my bag. And that's it for what's in my bag. Oh, I forgot one thing. It's sunglasses. I wear these literally from when I step out of the hospital to when I enter my bedroom. It minimizes any chance of any blue light hitting my eyes, telling my brain that it's time to wake up rather than time to sleep at the end of the night shift.
After having some dinner, at 8 p.m. it's time to leave for work. I've started to use these Boris or Santander hire bikes as I work in central London, which is notorious for bike thefts. The great thing about going into work at night is not having to wait for the lifts. I get changed in my scrubs, only now realising that I actually packed 2 scrub tops instead of a top and a bottom, so these leggings will have to do. I make a cup of matcha brown rice tea, then we get a handover from the day team. This is when we talk through all the patients, what they're in hospital for, and what jobs there are for us to do overnight. The other doctors and I then divide up the jobs and get on with things. Overnight, there is a lot of walking around in the hospital, and this particular shift was pretty non-stop with sick patients on the ward and new patients coming in through A&E. I finally have a chance to take a break. I have some food and just have a bit of a breather. This is an interesting graph I came across, again from Dr. Farker, showing what is happening to my body during a night shift. The S curve is sleep pressure, and C is the circadian rhythm alerting signal. At the start of the night shift, though my sleep pressure is building up, having been awake since 10 a.m, my circadian rhythm alerting signal is still high. However, at 2 a.m, the additional sleep pressure is rising rapidly, and my circadian alert signal is at its lowest. In other words, I feel utterly crap. After some food, I feel somewhat better. I'm then called again back to A&E to see some new patients. At 4 a.m, I have a decaffeinated tea and run through the patients with the other doctor, catching up on any events on the ward and any jobs left to do. I am again called down to A&E to see a referral. At 7 a.m, the sun starts to come up and I'm so exhausted I collapse on the couch for a 20-minute power nap, then get ready to hand over to the morning team. This involves updating our handover document with any new patients and any important events that happen to our patients already on the wards overnight. It's finally time to go home. My sunglasses come on and it starts drizzling as I leave the hospital. I was planning on cycling home, but I'm way too tired, and with the rain, I decide to take the tube instead.
I can't wait to sleep. So tired.
There are several crucial aids that I use to help me get to sleep during the day: blackout blinds, eye mask, and earplugs. I feel it's important to try and get to sleep as soon as possible after the night shift, because the later I leave it, the less overall sleep I tend to get. I manage to get about 6 to 7 hours, somewhat broken sleep, and get out of bed when I feel I can't get any more. When I get up, I again repeat my morning routine, brush my teeth, have a shower, and I have some fun playing with Pepe for a bit.
I'm just sitting down having dinner / breakfast, I guess. Just having the leftovers of the batch cooking that I made yesterday. Tonight is night 2. Pepe's walking on the table. Pepe, get off. So tonight is night 2. I tend to find that the set of 3 nights, the weekend nights, is a lot better than the set of 4 that we tend to do during the weekdays, because after tonight I'll only have 1 shift left, and psychologically it just gets me through a lot quicker. Last night's shift was actually a lot busier than I thought it would be. We were not only busy on the ward, but there were also a lot of referrals coming through to A&E. I'm feeling quite tired at the moment, so hopefully after some food, a cycle in, some green tea, I'll feel ready for the shift tonight.
Once I get into the hospital, I get changed. Tonight, I luckily remember to bring in my scrub bottoms. The start of tonight's shift is mainly busy on the ward, reviewing a few sick patients and answering nurses' questions and queries about patients' management. Things settle a bit at around 1:30 a.m. and I have some food whilst watching some YouTube videos. I head down to A&E to see a referral, and then at around 3 a.m, things are settled enough for us to get some rest. I am in the company of my bleep, yes, we still use these, and this will go off at any time my registrar needs me or if there's a new patient to see in A&E. I manage to get a good period of rest before I'm called down to A&E again. In the early hours of the morning, I sit down with the T and the other doctors to update each other on the events overnight and to start working on the morning handover list. When I get home, my routine is the same as the day before. I have some breakfast, then get some sleep.
It's the last night shift. I'm so excited, not for the shift, for it all to be over, and for me to enjoy my week off.
At the start of the night shift, I head straight down to A&E from handover, as it's quite busy. Apart from seeing and examining patients, I also help out with quite a few practical procedures like blood tests. Look at how tiny these paediatric blood bottles are, and cannulas, which is inserting a line in a patient's vein for an IV drip. I end up staying in A&E for essentially the whole night shift, as they're patients to see back to back. Luckily, the A&E registrar is super nice and provides us not only with multiple cups of tea, but also pizza. After 6 hours in A&E seeing patients, my registrar and I head back upstairs to the ward. After handover, I'm finally done with my set of night shifts. My registrar suggests we go for a team post-night's breakfast, which we agree with wholeheartedly. I ordered the veggie breakfast, which was delicious. I always feel a huge sense of relief after each set of nights.
I'm very, very tired. So it's about 11:30 now. I think I'll try and get 1 or 2 hours of sleep before I have to get up. The key to this is to set multiple alarms at high volume, because I have slept through the post-night alarm to sort of 4 or 5 p.m. and although it's great for you to get some sleep, it messes up your sleep schedule afterwards, so set multiple alarms. It's time for me to get some sleep.
Getting up after this nap is one of the hardest things about night shifts and takes significant effort. Getting as much natural light in as possible on waking helps tremendously with feeling less sleepy. In the summer months, I open the curtains wide, but in the winter months, when it gets dark at 4 p.m, I use this light machine, which gives off a very bright white or blue light to emanate natural sunlight. I take a shower and do my usual morning routine, which also helps me to wake up. I feel pretty groggy when I get up, so again, super jealous of Pepe, who just gets to continue sleeping all day. Following night shifts, I actually find it quite hard to stomach solid food, so I treat myself to an overpriced juice. Before starting any set of nights, I always plan something enjoyable in the afternoon after the last night shift. Not only does this motivate me to get out of bed, but it also serves as something to look forward to and focus on if I'm having a particularly bad set of nights. On this occasion, I've added some annual leave on top of my 0 days. I've decided to go to a 5-day pottery course in this gorgeous studio in East London. I've done a few courses here, and ever since my first one I've been completely hooked. I find working on the wheel with clay incredibly relaxing and gets me straight into a flow mindset. It's a great activity to take my mind off work. It is, however, as with anything, at times frustrating and definitely easier than it looks. I remind myself that I need to trust the journey rather than the outcome. That evening, I try to get to bed as close as possible to my normal bedtime, but it's incredibly hard to stay awake past 9 p.m.
So that wraps up the vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Before I head off, just a note to mention that every body is built differently and reacts to night shifts differently, so there will be some trial and error involved with figuring out what techniques serve you the best. I hope that you managed to pick up some hints and tips from this vlog, whether you're yet to do your first night shift or you're a night shift veteran. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, please consider subscribing, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!